Hey cuties, what's up? We are back with some more Reactions After Dark, and we're of course going to be watching The Dark Side of YouTube, number 4, obviously by The Void. Now, it's been a long time since we've done a Void video, like 3 months. I think it's been since we've done a Void. I think it may be time to start coming back to them. There's a whole plethora of stuff we could watch. I did just try to record a question video, but then once I got to the end of it, I was like, you know what, I don't really like this reaction, and I was like, I don't think this is going to go too well. I was like, screw it, let me scrap this. So that's kind of like a waste, right? I just wasted like half an hour, if not more, recording that. And I was like, oh, let's just see what the Void does, because I was just going to be like, okay, you don't, never mind, because I was going to stream today anyways, right? I was like, doing Pokemon, finally, but I can spend another half hour or so doing a rad video. So we're here with the Void. We don't have any tea today. I don't have anything to say, so we can just get into this, and then again, maybe starting now we can start doing like multiple Void videos back to back. Like maybe I'll do one tomorrow, and then when the next week starts, maybe throughout the entirety of next week, unless Stephanie uploads part 3 of that series that she's currently doing, then we'll probably squeeze that into that at some point. Content warning, I probably should pause this and read now. Content warning, the video contains stories and imagery that some viewers may find disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
YouTube's been around for so long that you'll occasionally stumble across a video that feels like it's from a completely different version of the internet.
Oh, this was, what was that one? What was this? This is like...
YouTube's been around for...
does it say like 666 or something? Like this is the whole thing going back then, where if you kept going, refreshing the page, right, it just makes it get more cynical and, not cynical, but like evil and evil. Let me 1080p just so I can see if I can see. No, it's just, it's too blurred on purpose. Maybe it says like hell or something. I don't remember.
A video that feels like it's from a completely different version of the internet. People made...
I feel like I might have done that myself. I don't know.
Parodies, short films, skits, usually recorded on a phone or whatever camera they had lying around. They uploaded them without much thought, little editing, no thumbnail, and no real plan for what would come next. And for the most part, those videos just sat there, forgotten. There's one video like that, titled Dumb Ways to Die Parody, the
paper version.
It was uploaded back in 2013, and
I mean, obviously I haven't seen this. I'm assuming a lot of these videos are going to be videos that have not been seen by many people.
On the surface, it's about as harmless as it gets. A couple of people dancing in front of a camera.
Well, you got your shirt off.
Wearing paper costumes, miming along to a children's safety jingle that had gone viral earlier that year. It's playful, it's awkward, and clearly just made for fun. But years later, something about it started resurfacing. Not because of the video itself, but because of what happened after. And sometimes, what makes a video disturbing on YouTube isn't what you can see. It's what you can't.
I mean, what I'm already seeing is pretty disturbing. I go, what is this? Like, what is all over her face? I think it's like meant to be weird. Like, is he wearing glasses? And the video's too like distorted to like really know, right? Too low quality.
Video disturbing on YouTube isn't what you can see. It's what you can't.
So Jen the cat. Like, am I reading like Jen the cat?
The video runs for just under 4 minutes. Each clip shows them recreating moments from the lyrics of the song Dumb Ways to Die, using homemade props and simple setups, with the camera frequently cutting between different locations. The music plays over everything, and there's nothing else added. It was uploaded to a channel called Jen the Cat, which belongs to Jen Oda. Originally from Montreal, she had been working on and off as a part-time actress, with most of the videos on her channel showing scenes from commercials, television roles, or small film appearances. Some of her credits included Backstab, Blackout, and Unnecessary Force, along with background roles in Spider-Man 3 and Star Trek Into Darkness.
Spider-Man 3. I mean, even though it's like the worst Spider-Man, that's just, I mean, that's still fine. Is that it's Sam Raimi, right? That did them. Did he do the third one too? Still my Spider-Man, right? That's what's his name? I can't believe I can't think of his name when he's like my Spider-Man. I'm gonna have to think about it. It's just not there. Like, brain is just too rotten. I literally can't remember his name right now. You know, the actor who plays Peter Parker in the original Spider-Man movies. You know, that's my Spider-Man, right? So that's like, oh, I don't know if I would have seen this person in there, right? If they're just like a background character.
Appearing alongside her in the video is her husband, Vincent Maggio. He had worked as a fitness trainer and over the years had picked up a
I mean, clearly, right? He has to make sure his shirt's off all the time.
few minor acting credits of his own. The two other people in the video are Jen's younger sisters, Lily Carmen and Emily.
I would assume the children, but I guess not.
There's nothing particularly unusual about the video itself. It looks like something made quickly, maybe as a joke or just for fun, with no real intention beyond that. But out of everything on the channel, this is the one that ended up being seen. It's been viewed over 16 million times since its upload date, back in August of 2013. But it's the only upload that looks anything like it, and outside of what was visible on camera, things had been quietly shifting. Jen was originally in the United States on a green card, and according to a blog post by one of her close friends, Robert Rose, that status was starting to become uncertain. In his words, Jen had a problem. Her residency was expiring, and there were conversations behind the scenes about how to help her stay. The situation was eventually resolved when she married Vincent, an American
I was gonna say, like, isn't she married? Like, doesn't that mean you just get to stay permanently?
citizen, and moved to Los Angeles with him. But it was around that time, according to Rose, that her real problems began. By the end of 2014, the couple had separated. A neighbor, Jessica Coppola, later told the Los Angeles Times that Maggio had taken the breakup hard. She said Jen had been staying with a friend, but that the two still saw each other occasionally, even going out for dinner together on Valentine's Day. Coppola had spoken to Vincent nearly every day in the weeks that followed.
Does your residency stay as long as you get married? So can you just get married and then immediately divorce right afterwards, and then you just get citizenship? Question mark. I don't know how that stuff works.
He spent most of his time outside, chain smoking and talking about the relationship. She described him as withdrawn and heartbroken, but not unstable. She
Tobey Maguire, by the way. I just finally, my brain remembered Tobey Maguire.
even referred the couple to a counselor, hoping something might shift. But in her words, nothing ever really did. And eventually, things would take a darker turn. On the afternoon of February 25th, 2015, police were called to an apartment in the 300 block of South Elm Drive in Beverly Hills. When they arrived, they found two bodies. Jen Oda had been shot and killed. The man responsible, according to investigators, was her estranged husband, Vincent Maggio, who then turned the gun on himself. The bodies were discovered just after 4:25 p.m. by Vincent's
I mean, I could assume that this is where this is going to go, unfortunately.
son, Devin. He was 18 at the time and had arrived at the duplex only minutes after gunshots were heard by nearby residents. The coroner confirmed it as a murder-suicide. Jen Oda was 31 years old. Vincent Maggio was 40. There isn't much else beyond that. The story was reported in a few news outlets, and Jen's friend wrote about his thoughts on his blog. But aside from that, there's little information about what actually led to that day. No formal statement from the family, or any real answers. Just a short burst of coverage, and then silence.
Which is like a crime passion, because he got divorced and he couldn't handle the divorce.
But the video is still there, still on Jen's YouTube channel, and still gaining views. And watching it now, it's difficult not to notice certain details. During the line about inviting a psycho killer inside, Vincent appears dressed as Jason Voorhees from the Friday the 13th franchise. He's wearing the mask, holding multiple knives, and appears in and out of frame as the others dance along to the song. Nothing about it feels out of place in the context of the video, but knowing what would happen later, it makes the scene incredibly uncomfortable to watch, almost as if it's foreshadowing what's to come. You're watching a man who would eventually kill his wife. You're watching her beside him, unaware of how the story would end. Watching the moment for what it was, and for everything it became.
It became?
Most YouTube channels are easy.
What? I think he forgot to add the dark side of YouTube or something, because like, what was that pause into like nothing? Like there was supposed to be some sort of delivery, and then there was no delivery.
The moment for what it was, and for everything it became.
Oh, I think they just like for everything it became, right? There's no drop that was supposed to be happening, but I felt like there should have been a drop in the like title card, the dark side of YouTube or something. But yeah, that one is just unfortunate. It's always like weird to go watch stuff back of people who are deceased, right? Depressing, I guess, even. Or just like something you don't want to see, like you want to stay away from because you know the people in it are no longer here, so you don't want to watch it.
Most YouTube channels are easy to understand. You can tell what they're about within seconds. Music, gaming, commentary, whatever the focus is.
What was that? I mean, there's Jeff the Killer, but who is playing it?
You can tell what they're about within seconds. Music, gaming,
I don't know who that was. They were playing some sort of Jeff the Killer game.
commentary. Whatever the focus is, it's usually right there in front of you. But sometimes, you'll come across a channel that doesn't make sense. A channel with no banner, not even any information in their About section. Just a name and a list of playlists. At first it all seems harmless, but the more you look, the more it starts to feel like something's wrong.
Speak soft.
A few of them are what you'd expect. Life hacks, dance tutorials, workout routines. One is just titled Dr. Mike and includes a handful of short health videos. Another is a collection of comedy clips.
That one has 4,000 views.
There's even a playlist dedicated to the Stranger Things show on Netflix. But then you begin to notice some of the other playlist thumbnails. Some show people lying on the floor. Others are half sitting, half slumped against furniture. In a few, their bodies are rigid, their arms are locked, their eyes are wide open or rolled back. Most of the time, someone else is standing nearby, either watching or trying to help. That's when you realize they're videos of people having seizures. Real ones, recorded in the privacy of their own home.
So this is a channel that's like a cover-up for some sort of seizure fetish content.
Some are filmed by friends, others by family members, and somehow they've ended up here, grouped into playlists by someone who doesn't say why. Most of these clips were uploaded as part of a medical record. Some include timestamps or descriptions of what led up to the seizure. Others are shared by parents trying to monitor a condition over time. In one case, the uploader explains that the videos are intended for doctors so they can observe the patterns and adjust treatment accordingly.
Yeah, because these videos are just all over the internet, right? They're not posts from the Speak Softly. What is it called? Speak Soft channel, right? It just has amassed a bunch of videos online from everybody into a playlist on its channel. That if you click on the videos, it'll take you to those other channels that happen to have these seizures on them, right? So whatever's being said here is probably true? Question mark. It's meant for that, but this person has specifically taken all these videos and made it into potentially a playlist for fetish viewers. I don't know what you want to call it.
That's the context these videos were created in. But on this channel, they've been taken out of that context completely.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like on their own, their context is valid, but here it's probably for something people would find not okay.
Each one is filled with seizure footage, but grouped under different titles. Some are vague, and others are oddly specific. One is called Movement, and another is titled Eyes. Then there's another one called Lips, and one is disturbingly called Good Sound. And in the context
Good Sound.
Videos of people mid-seizure, often gasping, jerking, or frozen in place. The titles just seem incredibly odd. It's hard to look at this and not assume it's fetish content.
Yep.
Not the kind that gets posted openly, but the kind that exists just under the surface, hidden in playlists, passed between accounts, never explicitly stated, but still obvious in what it's trying to do. And that feeling only gets stronger when you look at the numbers. Some of these playlists have racked up hundreds of
Oof, like 500,000? Jesus Christ.
thousands of views. One has over 1 million. So where are these views coming from? Who's finding them? And why are they watching? But unfortunately, that isn't the most disturbing part of this all. Some of these playlists include children. There are
I mean, I feel like that is just an unfortunate thing. A lot of these weird things like this end up having that to them. Was anything with like the eyeball thing, the eyeball looking thing, or like the sleeping ones? I think with the sleeping ones, they did have kids in them as well. So that's the whole of it, like rabbit hole, right? Like a long time ago, though. Like the sleeping thing and the eyeball thing was like a long time ago, like decade plus ago, right?
There are videos of toddlers, infants, and very young kids filmed mid-seizure, usually by a parent. You can tell by how they're filmed. The angle is often fixed, and a voice in the background might describe what's happening, or note the time. These videos weren't made to be seen by anyone outside of a family or a medical professional, but on this channel, they've been saved into playlists, mixed in alongside adult footage, and even repeated in different playlists, collected by someone with no clear connection to the people in them. And in some cases, the same child shows up more than once. Whoever is behind this channel has gone through these videos, watched them closely, and decided which ones to keep. Not for medical use, or to help, but for something else entirely, and that's what makes it difficult to moderate. On YouTube, anyone can build a playlist using content that doesn't belong to them.
Yep.
And individually, most of the videos don't violate YouTube's policies. But when they're pulled into a playlist like this, grouped together without context, and viewed hundreds of thousands of times, the intent changes. And yet, the system treats it exactly the same. The channel is still live, and the
I was like wondering, have we like nuked the channel now because of this video? Or if anyone's talking about Speak Soft?
playlists are still public. Most people won't notice it. They'll scroll past, or never see it at all. But for the people who uploaded those clips, it's already too late.
This video has 200,000 views. I'm assuming if a fraction of the 200,000 views that watched this video went to that channel and reported it, then it would be taken down, right? And that might have been something that happened. This video is from 9 months ago.
They were never meant to be part of, and nothing's been done about it.
I don't want to go check myself since I don't want to get in trouble by YouTube. I was like, oh, why you going to that channel? We know what that channel's about. Why are you going to go watch that channel? It's like, no, I just want to see if you did anything about it.
There's a form of meditation that exists within certain Buddhist traditions, a practice designed to strip away desire and force the mind to confront something most people spend their lives trying to avoid: death. More specifically, the decay of the human body. It's called Asubha Bhavana, and it's often translated as the meditation on foulness. Practitioners use it to detach from the beauty of the physical form, to see the body not as something to be glorified or craved, but as something impermanent, something destined to rot. But the version of Asubha Bhavana that exists online is very different. When you search the term on YouTube, you won't find monks in quiet reflection,
I don't know what this could be turned into.
or serene teachings about impermanence. What you'll find instead is something that looks more like a digital morgue: graphic footage, disturbing thumbnails, entire playlists of bodies in various states of mutilation and decomposition, some from hospitals and others from accidents, and some with origins that aren't immediately clear.
Why would that be like that on YouTube? Instead of actual meditation, why would it be turned into essentially just bodies in a morgue?
It's a practice meant to free the mind. But on YouTube, it's become something else entirely.
Yeah, and this is a long part of it, this video too, so this must be pretty deep, question mark.
The term itself comes from two Pali words: asubha, meaning foul or impure, and bhavana, meaning cultivation or mental development. Put together, the phrase refers to a meditative practice where the mind is trained to confront the unattractive nature of the physical form. The goal is to reduce attachment, not just to the bodies of others, but to your own. Practitioners are taught to break down the illusion of beauty by observing the body as it truly is, a fragile system of organs, skin, and tissue that inevitably begins to break apart. It isn't a punishment, but rather to see clearly, to accept what we are and where we're going, and in doing so, to let go of craving. The practice is deeply personal, carried out in silence, often in solitude, and sometimes using images of the human body in various states of decay to help visualize and meditate. And that's exactly what many people use YouTube for. Searching the term Asubha Bhavana pulls up a long list of videos, most of them made up of still photographs, autopsy images, or medical footage. One clip shows maggots eating through the flesh of a woman's ankle. Another focuses on what's described as poor oral hygiene, where dozens of worms move around inside a patient's mouth. There are multiple videos of infected limbs, open wounds, and graphic surgeries. In one case, a full resection of the male genitals due to severe lymphedema is uploaded in high resolution, with every moment of the procedure included. But they're there for a reason. A lot of the titles are written in Sinhala, which is one of the official languages of Sri Lanka, where Theravada Buddhism is widely practiced. Some translate to things like foulness meditation or meditation.
And so these videos just like literally just for this meditation, because you're supposed to be thinking or looking at this kind of stuff. So it actually is still linked to the practice itself. It just, from an outside person's perspective, it just seems really like gross, or I don't know what kind of word you would want to use it. Just like, you know, just gross. But it actually is just, it's not fetish stuff. Like the last one, it's like, no, this is actually for these meditations. I'm assuming some people are abusing this footage, but maybe it actually is for this practice.
Meditation to extinguish the fire of lust. In the comments, people reference the practice directly, discussing their meditation, or thanking the uploader for putting the footage together. But the results start to shift when the spelling does. Searching for Asubha Bhavana, a common misspelling, or possibly a deliberate variation.
So yeah, it's a different. I was wondering why it's spelled that way in the, like down here, and I guess even here. So this isn't the actual word. This is a slight mistranslation, like he was saying.
Brings up something entirely different. Instead of medical footage, the results lean toward real-world violence. One playlist titled Real Deaths contains over 20 videos. Another has more than 50. Most of them aren't presented as anything instructional. There's no voiceover or any sort of explanation. Just shaky phone footage, often recorded in the aftermath of something irreversible. Some still contain medical footage, but it's
I was gonna say, like, can you like get off of that screen faster than it? So yeah, I'm guessing this is actual just gore. Corn. Don't swim when you're drunk. Warning, death.
placed alongside videos that seem to exist for shock value alone. There are graphic injuries, scenes involving visible blood and trauma, and edits that resemble horror projects or ARG-style content. And in some cases, entire compilations labeled with terms like real deaths, featuring dozens of videos without explanation. There's no clear reason why these videos are grouped under the same label, no indication of who's uploading them, or why they're using this specific phrase. But whatever the original meaning was, it doesn't seem to apply anymore. YouTube's policies are clear about violent content. Graphic footage is allowed in some cases if it's used for educational, documentary, or medical purposes, but anything uploaded with the intent to shock or disturb isn't supposed to remain on the platform. And on the surface, that seems straightforward. But in the case of Asubha Bhavana, it gets more complicated. The videos under that name, while graphic, are often used as part of a genuine meditative practice, and the people watching them know that, as shown by the comment section. But that changes with the Asubha Bhavana variation. While some of the content overlaps visually, the intent behind it doesn't. The label
Yeah, but like, can YouTube discern the difference, or do they even care to discern the difference?
is being used to push something else entirely onto the platform, slipping through under a similar name, and blending just enough with the original material to avoid immediate detection. And in a lot of cases, it works. There are full channels built around this content, ones like 3GP low-quality videos and 3GP Funny 2.
Why would you give us the names of these channels? Because now people are just going to go to those channels, like any weirdos in the 200,000 people who watch this video. If there's any weirdos in there, now they know where to go.
A lot of what they post is short, usually under a minute, and the clips themselves are low quality, probably to try and avoid detection. But what stands out isn't just what's shown, it's what's being done to it. These channels are taking still images from known shock videos, frames pulled from cartel executions, mutilated bodies, and other graphic content that's circulated through dark corners of the internet. They run these images through mobile apps designed to animate faces, apps typically used to make people or pets look like they're singing or smiling, titling the videos under Asubha Bhavana, and gaining thousands of views. Faces that are visibly injured or no longer alive, sometimes just moving unnaturally, with no context at all. And the videos stay up. So where does that leave us? The original practice still exists, and so do the videos tied to it. But now, sitting alongside them, under a near-identical name, is something entirely different. The videos stay online, and the line between what's genuine and what isn't keeps getting harder to see. Sitting in the darkest corners of YouTube, waiting for someone to stumble across it.
I mean, you made it easier for people to stumble across it because you gave them the actual titles to those. I mean, the names to those two YouTube channels. Little Miss Kit is what this is called.
In October of 2007, a video was uploaded to YouTube. On the surface, it looked like just another early internet moment. Someone speaking into a webcam, celebrating something that mattered to them. But the reaction that followed wasn't what they expected. And what happened in the months after has become one of the more devastating stories tied to the platform.
Yeah, Little Miss Kit. I don't think I know about this.
Her name was Anne Catterick.
Her name was Anne Catterick. I mean, kind of giving it away that something happened to her.
She lived in England, and at the time of uploading, she was in her late 20s. Online, she went by the name Little Miss Kit, a channel that mostly featured short vlog-style videos. The uploads weren't frequent, and the viewership was low, but that didn't seem to matter. Her presence on camera was easygoing, and she came across as someone who didn't mind being a little silly. There was nothing unusual about her content, and nothing that made her stand out in the broader landscape of YouTube at the time, but that was part of the charm. On October 29th, 2007...
That's a long time ago. Still in high school.
Anne uploaded a video titled OMG 5 subscribers, where she celebrated this milestone. The reaction was deliberately exaggerated, an exuberant, over-the-top thank you that was clearly intended to be funny.
I was gonna say, even just like looking at this video, this here, without any sound, it felt like she was acting, right? I could just tell that even if I couldn't hear the audio, it felt acting. Like she was like,
Oh my god, I've got 5 subscribers. Oh my god.
even that face right there and her just looking off to the side, it feels fake, right? So
5 subscribers. That's yes. Oh, that's so amazing. It's like 5 subscribers is such a huge milestone on YouTube, and I've made it.
But not everyone understood the tone, and as a result, the comment section began to shift. Viewers mocked her appearance, criticized her voice, and questioned why she was celebrating at all. Some users took it further, with 5 people leaving messages telling her to end her life. The feedback was overwhelming and direct, taking what was meant to be a light-hearted video into something else entirely. Despite the backlash she received, Anne didn't disappear. In the weeks that followed, she continued to upload videos to her channel. The tone didn't change much, her personality remained upbeat, and the topic...
like, how did that many people show up anyways? Like, she has 5 subscribers. Where are all these haters showing up from? Just like professional haters looking for something to hate on, like just spending all day in 2007 looking for, I guess maybe in 2007 there just wasn't that much content, so you could easily find something like this. I don't know.
Topics were light. In December, she posted a video titled Power of Words. It was uploaded in response to another creator named Callie, who had made a video under the same name. Anne opens by acknowledging the video directly, and then shares her own thoughts, focusing on how people often fail to realize just how impactful their words can be.
Sure.
On the subject of the power of words, which her video was talking about, words do have a lot of power, and it's true that you should be very careful what you say to people. Not so much because the words themselves have a lot of power, but it's more the kind of the thoughts and feelings and the images that it kind of brings in your mind. They have the more power. And it's quite true that a very innocent comment, the words themselves don't really mean much, but to the person you're saying them to, they can actually really hurt them or really make them happy. So you just have to bear that in mind when you're talking to people.
Sure. There also is the belief that they literally do have power, right? Like words give power to things, like on a metaphysical level, right? That's like witchcraft stuff, bro, right? And whatnot. Or if you even the logos, I don't know how logos really works though. If it's even like a real thing, or am I just crazy and I'm like thinking of something that doesn't exist? But like the logos is like where the word exists, right? And if logos didn't exist, like the dimension of the logos didn't exist, we would not be able to communicate with each other, because like words are not just, you know, sounds. They're actually things that exist, and the logos is the only reason why you even understand what's being said. If that didn't exist, it would all just be gibberish. Question mark.
During the video, she demonstrates a simple trick that she says can help people deal with negative comments. And it's only afterwards that she opens up more directly, speaking about the hate she had received herself. She talks about her experiences, both online and in public, and how they'd followed her for most of her life. The message remained calm and thoughtful, but it was clear that this was something she'd had to learn the hard way.
As I say, I've done it when people say nasty things, and, you know, I've had hate comments on YouTube, and people shout at me and laugh at me on the street, and, you know, and I've had it all my life, and, you know, those comments do hurt when they originally happen, but using this technique, it helps, and, you know, you can actually lessen the effect of them. So now when I think about some of those comments, and especially the more hurtful ones, they don't hurt as much. And, you know, and if you ever do get to a situation where, you know, you are feeling down, use that same technique. Just hold those two fingers together and remember the good feelings from the good comments.
Despite this, her uploads would continue. The last proper upload came in early 2008, titled Hamster of Nolt's Dance, a remixed clip taken from another YouTuber's video. But after that, the channel went quiet. Behind the scenes, things had changed. The comments never really stopped, and over time, they began to take a toll. Anne became withdrawn, and according to those who knew her, the bullying she faced online had made her deeply depressed. Eventually, it reached a point where she couldn't keep going. On March 13th, 2008, Anne took her own life. Her parents...
I mean, I think we all knew this is where this was going to go. From the get-go, right? Especially when he used past tense when speaking about her. It kind of just makes sense that this would be how it ended up, unfortunately.
would confirm her passing in the About section of her channel roughly a week later, using the same account Anne had once used to celebrate her 5 subscribers. To this day, Anne's channel is still online. All of her videos, including the one where she celebrated 5 subscribers, are still publicly available. But watching them now feels different. The tone hasn't changed, but the meaning has. What once looked like a small moment of joy now sits beside a story that most people never saw coming.
I would like to think. Let's go back and read this. I don't know if it says anything. So, to all the friends of Little Miss Kit, we do not normally use YouTube, so we are using our late daughter's site for the last time to send this message to you. Thank you for all the messages following the death of our daughter, who you knew as Little Miss Kit. We would particularly thank Jessica for traveling a long distance to come to her funeral. She told us she was representing you all, though she was asked to join us for food afterwards. Regrettably, she did not stay for us to talk. She brought a beautiful card she had made with all your messages written in it. It was so wonderful to see how many people cared and befriended Anne. Now our lives have to go on, but we hope you will always keep a time to remember Anne with fond memories. Once again, thank you all, particularly Jessica, for your friendship with Anne. Little Miss Kit's mom and dad. I was going to say that, and this kind of disproves that, I would have hoped maybe she didn't go through with it, and this is just her or the parents saying that she did, so that she could just go live a normal life and not have to deal with anything. No, she just gave up on YouTube and just said this to be like, okay, she doesn't exist anymore, and she can just live her life, right? But the fact that specifically saying that this person who was a fan actually came to the funeral kind of cements that like maybe it's something that did actually happen. So it's like, unfortunately, maybe she did go through with it.
To this day, Anne's channel is still online. All of her videos, including the one where she celebrated 5 subscribers, are still publicly available. But watching them now feels different. The tone hasn't changed, but the meaning has. What once looked like a small moment of joy now sits beside a story that most people never saw coming. Since her death, the channel has grown far beyond anything Anne likely imagined. She now has over 100,000 subscribers, a number that would have seemed impossible at the time she recorded that first video. And while some of that growth came from the attention around her passing, it also shows just how many people were moved by who she was and what happened to her. Her channel is now a fragment of someone who isn't here anymore, and watching it now, it's hard to separate the excitement in her voice from the weight of what would follow. A woman who played up her achievement on YouTube, now remembered for the way the platform failed her.
And that is going to be it for this video. So we had this one at the beginning, right? Which that one's unfortunate, but again, they kind of saw that coming. I was assuming that the kids would have been in this as well, but they weren't actually their kids, right? They were just her sisters, so that kind of helped, I guess, for them not to also be taken out by this guy. They're just unfortunate. I mean, all these videos are always going to have like bad things happening in them. And that was like what, corn content, and again, potentially more corn content for that. And this is just like an unfortunate thing. Again, I guess it's that in 2007, it's just easy for haters to show up and just be mean. Because I feel like, would this happen? Something like this happen now where someone posts, they get 5 subscribers, and then people show up and then say mean things like that? Because I feel like nobody has time. Like, sure, haters are going to hate, but I feel like no one would have time to do something like this. I think there's just more. It was maybe just easier to do this back then in 2007? Question mark. Again, I was still in high school, and I didn't even use YouTube back then. So I'm assuming it was different time. Question mark. Yeah, unfortunate. That's always. I'm just gonna always be saying unfortunate, and whatnot. But I guess that's going to be it for today. So yeah, cuties, thanks for watching. Remember to buy my stickers, about becoming a member, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. So we're going to watch them and subscribers, and don't forget we have a throne now as well. And shout out to the members, EmmyStarr, RaleyDrew, and alexgkiller 880. But I think I'm not going to use my outro, right? I used the ending scene, but I feel like I probably should just stop using that for the reaction videos until I make one specifically for Rad. So we'll just fade to black at the end of this video. So cuties, thanks for watching. Tune into the next episode. Like, subscribe, hype, and comments. You know the deal. See ya.